Hello, everybody.
Hi,
Hey,
I'm Sky,
I'm Jam.
I'm Brokev.
and we're going to talk about the recent Pokemon news that has come out about Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee versions, and also Pokemon Quest, I guess, and Gen 8 next year.
Yeah,
All the things.
There's a lot of things.
some of those we were expecting.
Nobody was expecting Pokemon Quest, I can tell you that much. That one came out of nowhere.
That's like a Kev. I don't know if you know about that. It's like a blocky-looking Pokemon game.
It's
that's
a
like
Pokemon app that's also going to be on the Switch and like mobile phones.
Is it an abomination or is it kind of
Yeah, that's very fun. I've been playing it. I mean, it's an app it's free to play. So
Okay.
that's a draw, but it's got in-app purchases like every app does. But if you avoid those, it's fun. You just gotta play in like short bursts.
I mean, that sounds like exactly what they did with Fire Emblem Heroes. Like,
Yeah,
they're
pretty
trying
much.
to just branch out into that,
Precisely. And Animal
App
Crossing
game.
Pocket
So-
Camp.
That's interesting. Well, what's the point of it?
It's the first 150 Pokemon, which is a big theme with this recent news. It's just the first 150. But you're kind of on an island. We should have shown you before we started recording this, but this is good. I'm explaining for the viewers too.
yeah.
You're on this island, and you've got a little camp set up, and you could cook food with the different berries and stuff you find on the island, and different foods will bring different Pokemon, and then you could send them out on expeditions to find more ingredients and other Pokemon and level up and whatnot. It's got RPG mechanics to it. It's very simple. There are two stats, health and attack. And then if you open up a side menu, there's 20 other stats. There's critical hit percentage, status, it's all this actual detailed stuff. But you only need to know about the attack and health.
Okay, so there's the more advanced stuff for the people who want it.
Yeah.
And if you want to ignore it, you can just...
You could completely, kind of like regular Pokemon games.
Yeah.
It is a simplified Pokemon, similarly to the way that Fire Emblem Heroes is a simplified Fire Emblem. But I even say Fire Emblem Heroes does a better job. This is also removed from Pokemon in this weird way. It's just kind of its own thing.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I agree with you, actually.
It's more almost Tamagotchi-esque.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like it has, interesting things to it.
Yeah, I played it yesterday. It was a lot of fun. I did enjoy it. I happened to get a really rare Porygon very early with just Ice Beam and Shadow Ball that destroyed everything in the first few sections of the game. I was like, all right, cool.
I like this game. Anything more on Pokemon Quest?
I would love to see them add other generations in later because, again, now that there are more Pokemon, a lot of people's favorites aren't in the first 150 just because of statistically how many Pokemon there are, and B, there are no Dark-type Pokemon, so that's a whole, element of type that you can't access.
Yeah.
That sounds like I agree with that.
I was going to say, I feel like we're at the point where they could just put blue and red version on a phone app anyway.
Yeah.
I feel like that is definitely achievable at this stage.
I'm sure somebody has illegally at some point.
Yeah. I mean, people are emulating it anyway, but it's
Yeah.
just, it's just the kind of thing where it's funny to watch them go out of their way to make a simple game like that when it's why? I mean, the original games were simple too.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Could you imagine the uprising if they uproar if they put in-app purchases into Pokemon Red and Blue?
Oh, God.
Yeah, that would not
Oh,
work.
that wouldn't go well.
Wow. No. Okay, so now Pikachu, Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee were announced too, and those... I feel like there's quite a divide in the Pokemon community on whether or not that it's a good or a bad thing.
I feel like there's a divide within me personally on whether or not it's good or bad. And like I was saying just before we started recording, thinking of it as a sequel to Pokemon Go, more so than anything else, has made it really helpful. Also, showing the trailer to my mom, because she's very excited to play it. It'll be her first Pokemon game.
Aw.
And she could actually play it because it'll be on the big screen. So, it's definitely not for me, but I love
Right.
a lot of... I think my biggest issue with it is that I love some of the choices in it. I love the Pokemon that you can see in the wild before you catch them. I love that there's multiplayer. I love that the Pokemon follow you, and I love riding on the Onix, and all that looks so cool. And then it is Pokemon Go still, and it's still that mechanic, and there's no battling wild Pokemon, and I hope they put those elements into the Gen 8 game coming next year.
Yeah, so whatever you don't like about Go, fine, but I'm not talking about you personally, I'm talking about you in general.
Yeah, the general sense.
But you can't blame them for trying to, even though Pokemon Go alone has kind of died down.
Well, it's still the third most played app every day, according to the App Store.
Is it
like
really?
The third
Wow.
biggest. It's huge still.
I did not
Like you don't
realize
hear,
that.
it's not the unbelievable cultural phenomenon it was at first, but it's still one of the biggest profits Nintendo's got coming in right now.
Okay, I didn't know that. Wow. But yeah, like I you can't blame them for like trying to continue the Go and trying to like incorporate it in Nintendo's main console. Like it kind of makes sense. I get what they're doing. I do like some aspects of it, but I think if it were announced maybe at a different time too, like maybe that would change some people's minds. Like I think people were expecting Gen 8.
Yeah.
And like once they saw this, they're like, this isn't it, is it? Like,
Right.
So I don't know.
I have some things to say about this, and it starts with what you just said. Like, it feels like they announced this poorly. It could have been handled a lot better. If people were prepared for Gen 8 to not be announced right now, or to not, be premiered right now, this would have been, I think, received a whole lot better.
Mm-hmm.
And look, in some ways, this is like a grand slam for Nintendo, because they have this Pokemon Go community, which, we all did that, right?
Yeah.
We all jumped on the bandwagon and had tons of fun.
Totally true.
I got a smartphone for Pokemon Go.
Right. And I'm sure, honestly, you're probably not the only one who did that. And, in this, like, when that happened, I know I felt nostalgic for Pokemon. Me, who hasn't played a Pokemon game since, I guess I played Pokemon Y, but since then I haven't really been playing.
Yeah.
Physically walking around with friends catching Pokemon, that felt like what young Kevin wanted to do with Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with the announcement of this game, one thing that they're killing is the nostalgia department. Because now not only do we have our phone as a Pokédex, but we get to carry around a Pokeball. Like that's amazing. What more could you ask for when you were trying to literally imagine that experience as a kid, right?
That's totally true.
And again, this is a huge win for the Pokemon Go community, and like you were saying about your mom, like new people who are playing their first Pokemon games. This won't feel so overwhelming. Granted, you can play Pokemon as simply or as advanced as you want, really. This is like a really fun and interactive and social way to play Pokemon, which, has not always been
The focus of it,
focus of it. So in that way, it's great. But, for people, like, I know when I pick up a Pokemon game, I know when James picks up a Pokemon game, and I'm sure you as well.
Me,
we like to... You, Sky, sorry.
No. It's okay.
I'm gesturing here. We like to grind and form this unstoppable Pokemon team and really delve into the more advanced portions of the game. And also, we were expecting a core announcement. Like, we were expecting the announcement of a core game, so... this news will be a little bit disappointing to that group who wanted, the next gen to come out immediately, and we're expecting that.
Right.
But they could have so easily just announced this in a better way and not disappointed a bunch of people who were expecting something else.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I could jump off that and say that, I don't know if you know this, Kevin, but before this announcement, the game leaked. There was a big leak about Pokemon Let's Go, Eevee, and Pikachu.
Yes,
Okay,
I knew this.
And so this announcement, especially coupled with the fact that they did announce, hey, the next mainline games are coming out next year, was almost a relief to me. And I feel like maybe a lot of other people too, because the way the leaks were phrased is, this was the Gen 8 game. This was the next core Pokemon game. It had Pokemon Go mechanics. It was set in Kanto. It was a yellow remake. You could start with Pikachu or Eevee. And, this was it. This was Gen 8. And then there were other fake leakers that jumped on top of that and kept adding more details pretending to be the same first person, like how there was a new normal type evolution, which still could be the case. They did confirm there's a new Pokemon in it, so maybe. And that it would be taking place 20 years in the future, and Red and Blue, the characters would be adults in it. Also still could happen, but it looks like it's just a remake of Red and Blue. Professor Oak looks as the same as always.
Yeah.
And there was a whole thing about a new Team Rocket region, like something happened where the islands Kanto actually broke apart, and an island broke off it, and then going back to Johto as well. There was this whole huge thing. It is Gen 8, but there is Pokemon Go, and you're just gonna have to deal with that.
Oh.
And so seeing it's no, it's just this little stepping stone game between Pokemon Go and the next actual game. As much as I am frustrated that we're gonna have to wait another year longer than I was hoping for Gen 8, it is nice to be okay, this isn't it though.
Yeah.
I'm going to let this be the thing that it is.
I definitely agree. So I don't know if any of us, if this is the Pokemon game for any of us to pick up, but it does look like, it looks like a fun time. I also noticed there's a cooperative element to it. Like you could do it with a friend. You can catch Pokemon with friends. I think that's kind of neat.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, some people will love it.
It's cute. It's not what I personally am in the market for, but it's really cute.
Yeah. I mean, I think when I think Pokemon and like the things I enjoy about playing Pokemon games the most, it is the RPG elements, leveling up, battling, battling other trainers or other wild Pokemon in the game. So
yeah. I was looking at like all the menus and stuff. It looks like the trainer battles are the same as always, from what I could tell.
Oh, okay.
Which is nice. There was a level up meter, like they had the Pokemon level there, so it looks like there's still like elements of it. It's just the wild Pokemon battles have been toned down, if you will.
Yeah. I know both me and you, Skyler, and I'm sure Kevin too, enjoy the element that one of your Pokemon in your party follow you around. Like that's kind of neat.
Yes.
Just to see that in the overworld, to like kind of
I missed that so much.
have your Pokemon follow you around. Yeah. So that part's neat. I don't know if this has been like confirmed or not, but I'm a little bummed that you can't evolve Pikachu or Eevee. Like there's no...
Did they confirm that?
I don't know if they actually did.
You could evolve Pikachu in yellow. I don't see why you wouldn't be able to here.
I'm not sure if that was part of it or not.
Oh, I didn't hear. I heard that
maybe I'm wrong.
Couldn't evolve Eevee into like Espeon, Umbreon, and later because they didn't exist in first gen. It is again only the first 150. So no Licky, no Tangrowth, no Mega Charizard, no.
Yeah.
I don't know, Pichu.
If you can't evolve Eevee, that would truly be a shame.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
The excitement of being able to pick Eevee and play Eevee. I mean, maybe you don't want to evolve your Eevee, and that's fine. But there's so much like control that the player's given to choose what their Eevee becomes, and to me, that's like one of the most smart things Pokemon ever did. It's like give you choices like that.
Exactly. It's the one thing that Eevee is known for. It's why Eevee is this secondary mascot of the franchise, is because the evolutions are exciting.
And everybody has their favorite, right? So that's something that no matter who you are, like you're going to be happy to pick Eevee and choose what path he goes down. Mm-hmm. And it would be unfortunate to deny people that.
Yeah, I don't think they would. They did say there'd be no IV training in the game, which is like more advanced than even I play with Pokemon.
Definitely advanced, yeah.
Yeah. I like the art style. The art style is very younger looking.
Yeah.
Like literally the characters look younger in this. Which I think ties in with it being for a younger audience. But people on Twitter I was seeing pointed out that the player characters, like the player boy and girl, look like young versions of the Pokemon Go player characters, which is just a cute little detail.
Yeah, the interconnectedness and the literal connectedness between Pokemon Go and this game are definitely a smart move for Nintendo, and this is what they're trying to do, right? They're trying to expand and connect all these different spheres, right?
Exactly.
So seems like they're doing that.
It's definitely new. The new Super Mario Brothers of Pokemon. Any other thoughts on Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee? By the way, the names, just back to the relief thing really quickly. When they revealed that Gen 8, the games are called Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, and that was the Gen 8 Pokemon game names in the leak, I was just like, what did they do? They had this great naming convention for 20-something years.
Yeah.
maybe that should have been the first sign that it was a,
spin-off.
Something else, but...
Or whatever it is.
You're right, though. At the end of the day, I think we should hopefully all come away with this with a sense of relief that this isn't the Gen 8 and just accept it for what it is, and get pumped for the people who really are going to enjoy this product, because there will be many.
Oh yeah, I have a lot of friends online who are super excited about this, who are like our age and just totally into it. Hey, if you enjoy it, more power to you. Great, you get another fun Pokemon game to play.
Yeah. It's like the same thing when like Pokemon Go itself came out. People were like, I've been waiting to do this with Pokemon for years. Like, go around and catch Pokemon and like...
Right.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, like, Nintendo's definitely banking on some nostalgia here, which they've been doing a lot recently. Mm-hmm. Hopefully they don't pound the nostalgia, thing into the ground here, but they're definitely still riding that wave, and they should. Yeah. It's working.
It definitely... it's... What is it? The 20-year anniversary of Pokemon last year? So it's definitely, like... There's some precedent for that.
Left over from that,
Yeah. I'm excited to see what Gen 8 brings. They did say that they've been working on Gen 8 since before the Switch's announcement, and since before they were working on Pokemon Let's Go, Eevee, and Pikachu, which is a good sign.
It's a long time.
3-4 years now?
chances are
Yeah.
Jenny is just going to blow everyone out of the water.
Yeah.
And, totally revolutionize what Pokemon's doing.
It's going to be a huge deal with the first mainline Pokemon on a home console system.
Yeah.
Like, that's going to be nuts.
I'm excited. I can't wait to see what they bring.
Yeah. Is that it? Do we want to talk about anything else, like what we might think Gen 8 might do, or...
I guess we could, but it's so far away now.
I know, there's, like, nothing to go off of yet.
I could give you my best prediction for Gen 8, which is going to be less than 100 new Pokemon, some sort of new form, a la Alolan forms and Mega Evolutions, like some third new way that Pokemon exists. No new Megas, no new regional forms, no new Ultra Beasts. I think they'll still not have HMs. I think which was a good choice. I think they will. I don't know. There's not a lot I can predict. I hope they have Pokemon following you. I hope they have the seeing Pokemon in the wild, but I don't know whether that's just for this or hopefully something going forward.
Yeah, we can hope.
Mm.
All right, well, I think that wraps up this little podcast here. We're going to have more coming out soon.
That's right. Stay tuned for our E3 predictions podcast episode coming soon.
And then after that, we're also going to dedicate a podcast just to Smash predictions.
That's
Smash
right.
Bros.
It gets its own category.
Because it should.
It's big.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you all for listening.
See you later.
Bye.
Here we go!
Playtime's over. Here we go.
Metapod.
Metapod.
Pokemon! Do you remember the Pokemon Go rap back when Pokemon Go first came out that some fan did?
The Pokemon Go rap? No.
Pidgey, Rattata, Weedle.
So accurate.
Oh, man. Yup.